Hello, Internet. I'm Randy Bailey, and I'm interviewing Keith Allen Morgan of the Comics. Say hi.
Hi.
Hey. So, what part of the world are you in there, buddy?
Oh, Western Washington.
Western Washington. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Hey, it's a nice place. Okay, the politicians are horrible, but you know, you can't have everything.
All right. Well, so, you're a webcomic artist, huh?
Yep.
All right. So, why don't you tell us what got you started in the whole biz there?
Oh, I've just been drawing for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
Which is about 5 minutes. And
Really?
Shiny objects distract me. No, since I was a kid, I've been drawing. Just loved comics and cartoons.
Okay.
You know, since '82 on and off, I've been doing comics for my club newsletter, the Boeing Employees Mineralogical Society. The Tumblr is what the paper is called. And I'd been doing fan comics for various other web comics, and the gal who does the webcomic Darken finally said, why don't I get a comic of my own? And I've been wanting to do something that wasn't rockhounding cartoons. And so I asked her which, she was on, at the time she was on both Keen Spot and Drunk Duck, and I asked her which one she would recommend. And she said that Drunk Duck was the easiest if you didn't want to mess around with HTML, so that's what I went with.
Okay. So, let's see. How many comics have you made, either on and off the web or both?
Ooh, I would say over 1,000.
Wow, that's impressive.
You know, counting up the fan comics and the bad comics that I did for friends and other stuff, and the stuff that's on the web. The comics is coming up on 1,000 pages.
Wow.
Some of which are comics done by some other people, but most of it is mine.
Wow, 1,000 pages. That's quite the milestone.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish I could get that high.
You will if you live long enough.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem if I live long enough. So, tell us a little bit about the comics then.
It's a random assortment of things. Basically, whatever I thought was funny. It's mostly humor. I mean, I do have some ideas for serious storylines, but most of it is comedy. You know, there's a lot of rock-hounding humor. Rock-hounding is, us people who go out looking for rocks and minerals. And there's, random stuff because just different things catch my fancy. My most popular characters would be Gertrude and Brunhilde, who are a pair of metal bikini-wearing ex-Valkyries who adventure.
Wow, that's a shocker. Mm-hmm. Women in bikinis
being popular on the internet.
Yeah,
who'd have guessed? Well, wonders never cease.
No kidding. So they're your favorites, huh?
Oh, they're fun to do, and they're very popular.
So, just the popularity is what makes them your favorites, or are there other things about them?
No, they're fun. They're basically bumblers, so they usually tend to get into trouble, and I have fun with that.
Because trouble's always fun.
Yes, Brunhilde is the dark-haired one, and the smarter of the two. Gertrude is the blonde, and she wasn't meant to be a dumb blonde, but after a couple of strips I realized that she was heading that way, and I just decided to go for it. And she's fun because she'll say lines no other character would say. And Jim Henson once said that puppets are great because they'll say things no living actor will say. Gertrude is my Muppet.
Oh, there you go. All right.
If there's a line that's just too dumb for anyone else, she's the go-to gal.
She'll cross it. So what inspired you to do the comics, other than just somebody saying, well, why don't you make your own comic? Or
I've just had lots of ideas for comics through the years. I've always been a comic book fan. I've loved cartoons. You know, and it was just an opportunity to try to get some of those ideas I had in my head out. And it was a lot less messier than, you know, splitting open my skull and dragging them out. Yeah, so drawing them on the computer was a little tough, of course, because the crayons would mess up the screen.
Ah.
But then somebody pointed out, oh, you use the mouse. Oh, okay.
Just those simple,
had to fight it away from the cat.
simple little details there, huh? So, let's see. So, do you have any comic artists that, you know, that kind of helped get you involved into all this, or?
Personally, no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, maybe not having
my
met anyone
inspiration,
personally.
well, I was a big fan of the comic work of artist Mike Grell.
Okay.
He did a comic book for DC called The Warlord. He's also known for the Legion of Superheroes and Green Arrow. I loved his work.
Okay.
I loved his work, and for 20 plus years, I tried to draw like him, till somebody pointed out that I have a cartoony art style and not a serious art style. At which point I started trying to be more cartoony.
Ah. I have a feeling that train's going to come across the bridge here soon.
Yeah.
Let's pause it.
Let's pause.
Okay.
Well, we think the train has passed.
Yeah. We'll see if it sneaks up behind us later.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
So, how do you make your comic? How do you do the process from start to finish?
I chisel it out of stone.
Really?
It varies. Usually, I have an idea and I write up the dialogue.
Okay.
I don't always do that. Sometimes I have an idea and I draw it first, and then I try to remember, okay, what was I going to say here? Usually I draw my comics on paper and I ink them and scan them in. Sometimes I actually draw them on the computer itself. Most of the rock counting stuff is actually done on the computer. It's done in a pixel art format. Because at the time I was doing them, I had a program called Paint, later Super Paint. And I've just sort of kept that because it's a consistent look for those cartoons and those characters. But a lot of the other stuff is hand-drawn, you know, either with pen and paper or with hand and mouse.
All right. So, what kind of computer do you use?
I use a Macintosh, and I use Photoshop to color.
Okay. Cool. So let's see here. So you make your comic what I like to call the old-fashioned way. Basically, you actually use your hands to make this guy. So has your comic generated any income or revenue for you?
No.
Do you actually want it to, or?
Yes. Please send money.
Well, we'll see how well the pity play goes. Anyway, but
Is it
so
time to take off my clothes now?
yeah, please don't do that.
Either send the money or I will.
That might actually work. Anyway,
Sad but true.
yeah. So, would you do commissions if you were actually commissioned?
I have actually done a commission.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I would do more commissions.
Okay.
But none have come in.
Okay. Well, how would somebody contact you for commissions?
Well, you can contact me through Drunk Duck. They have a private quack system.
Okay. And who would they PQ to? Would it be to KAM?
KAM. K-A-M.
KAM.
My initials.
All right.
Which is where the name of the title of the comics comes from. KAMICS.
Awesome. Okay.
It's a pun. I love those.
Yes, we've
Some
noticed.
people hate them.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. We won't go there. Okay, so
It's the Punisher.
moving on. What are your comic preferences? Do you prefer comedy over action, or?
I like comedy, but I like action and drama too. I haven't done as much of that as I would like.
Okay.
I mean, doing 3 comics a week gets a little. Your time kind of runs out. So
Yeah.
It's easier to do comedy than drama.
Okay.
But yeah, I have plans for those sorts of things. Just haven't drawn them up yet.
All right. All right. And Comics is a comedy. It's also a slice of life type, wouldn't you say, or more adventure? Or
I'd say more in adventure fantasy stuff. I mean, I suppose there's some slice of life stuff in there, but it's usually comical takes on life.
okay. Well, if you can't laugh at life, you're in trouble.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it. Is there anything that you wish you could do better, or that you would?
Art, comedy.
The whole thing.
I wish I could draw faster.
Well, you draw pretty quick. I remember
And
when
it
we
shows too.
yeah when we were doing the crossovers there back in 2008. Well, you were just cooking right along, and I was just dragging behind. So I think you're going pretty quick there.
Well, you have art standards. I don't. Me, it's get this out of the way.
Okay, well, this is a dumb question, but I will ask it anyway. Have you done any cameos?
Cameos. What is that?
That's where you have a character from another comic coming to yours.
Oh.
That makes up about, what, 80% of your comic?
Yeah, I think I've done a few of those.
Just a few.
Hogan's
1,000.
not around, is he?
No.
Okay.
No. He doesn't come out till later. Or, I mean, no, he's not here.
Yeah, we're saving the axe murder for later.
Yeah.
Hogan is the proprietor of the webcomic Cameo and Crossover Archive. He keeps track of all webcomic cameos. And
here comes the train.
I've done over 100. So I've given him lots of work. And we should probably pause while the train goes by.
Yep, here it comes. All right, another train down. Okay, so you've done plenty of cameos. Is there a reason for this? Do you do it just for the fun of it, or is there an actual more sinister, dark purpose behind it all?
To torture Hogan.
So the dark, sinister purpose actually is valid then.
Well, it's part of it. But I do cameos because there's characters in other comics I like. There's other comics that I admire, and I like to sort of just put one of their characters in as sort of a tribute. And sometimes it's just fun because it's like, ooh, if I put a character from this comic in, Hogan will have to dry it up.
Okay. So why did you choose... I can't even talk today. Why did you choose Drunk Duck as your...
I explained that one earlier.
You did?
Kate Ashwin of Darken.
Oh, that's right, you did. I'm sorry. Okay, well, forget that. You did not hear that.
Forget what?
You did not hear that at all. So about how many hits a day does your comic get?
Around between 300 and 500. It jumps up and down, but that's generally the range it stays within.
Okay. So, what would you like your comic to become like? What would you hope for it to evolve into?
The most beloved comic in the world, with hundreds of spin-offs on TV and movies.
Don't we all?
This will be used against me at my sanity hearing.
So, do you have any future plans or titles that you would like to discuss?
Well, I'm working on a Gertrude and Brunhilde storyline. I've got, about 6 or 7 finished. I think I'm going to wait till I get the whole storyline finished before I start uploading it. I've had the mistake of starting a storyline while it's still in the process, and that causes problems.
Oh.
But basically, it ties in with an earlier storyline where Gertrude had become queen for a while, and
Queen for a
going
day.
to end up back in her former kingdom. It's not going to go well.
Uh-oh. So, to any webcomic artists who want to basically start their own comic, or maybe somebody who's like, I'd like to do that, but I'm just not sure how to get started or whatnot. What advice could you give them?
Don't do it. Don't. And when you ignore that advice, work hard. It's kind of hard to know what'll be popular and what won't. So basically, please yourself, because you're the only one you're going to count on to be pleased.
Okay.
I've seen, well, your comic. I mean, I think you do a great comic, and you have great artwork, and you get, what, 70 hits a day about it, which is a shame.
Well, it's been going up a bit ever since the crossover
That's good.
thing, but at any rate, I think you get plenty of hits too. I see quite a few comments on your comic, so I don't think it's being ignored.
No.
So that's good.
There's a few people who seem to like it.
Well, hey. So, let's see here. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think of something to sting you with here. So, when you're not doing comics, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Oh, problem is comics take up so much time. I like reading.
You like to read?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a comic fan. I like regular books too. Yeah, I'm not much of a game player, but yeah, so far it's pretty much been trying to get an internet business up and going, and working on my cartoons.
Oh, you're an entrepreneur, huh?
I'm trying.
All right. So what keeps you going? What keeps you doing comicking?
I'm a low IQ. I can't help it. I have to draw these things and put them on the web. It's a desperate cry for attention.
Oh, boy.
It's a sign of help, you know?
Okay. So, do you think that if you didn't have your fans that would come and leave comments and the like, do you think that you would still be doing it today?
Oh, I probably would have stopped doing it. The fact that people like it and the fact that people post comments saying they like it, you know, encourages me to keep doing it. Sometimes they make suggestions or they give me ideas.
Oh, sounds like the comments are a paycheck for you, just like they are for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Keith?
Sometimes someone will make a suggestion like, well, I hope you don't do this. And I'll be, okay.
Ah. It's more your inspiration there, I see.
Yes.
If you don't want something done, just tell Cam not to do it and he'll make it happen.
Well, not entirely. I mean, was it Magical Misfits once stated that he didn't think I could draw horses. And I posted a bunch of posted links to pictures I had drawn featuring horses to show them the different. And then everybody was commenting about how, yeah, you know, what Cam can't draw are naked Valkyrie strippers. We haven't seen that yet because it's a mature comic. There are limits.
Oh. So have you ever kicked around the idea of doing an adult type comic?
I've kicked it around, yes.
Kicked it around till dead, or just just one or two kicks and run away?
I wouldn't do it under my own name.
No, I see. So, let's see. So, do you have any other webcomic authors that you communicate with on a regular basis besides myself?
Well, through the comment system and through various forums, I comment with the guy, Ron, who does the comic Magical Misfits. Haven't talked too much to Joff of Life and Death lately.
And he's in England, right?
Yeah. You're the only webcomic person I know in person. Well, there is that little dragon, but we don't discuss him.
He's a goofy guy. And he tends to blurt things out at inappropriate times. But we won't talk about that right now.
Yes. He breathes fire, so we won't.
Yeah. But all around, he's a pretty cool guy. So, okay. Well, is there anything you wish to let the people out there know? Or do you have anything you wish to say to them? Something that doesn't require bleeps or edits?
Not really. I hope you give my comic a check sometime.
Okay.
Like it.
Well, if you want to check out Keith's comic, it is on Drunk Duck, www.drunkduck.com/thecamics. Or you could probably, can you do a Google search for it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, a Google search will bring it up too. And
Comics, and I'm usually the first one on the list.
Yep, and it's KAMICS. So do check it out. All right, we'll hang this up now. Somehow.